of voting too, because we're in a voting season and whatever, and et cetera.
Don't let Donald Trump.
Huh?
Yeah, okay.
You know, just that's what I'm, you know, talk about the basic constitutional rights that people have. The 13th Amendment black folks had because they were slaves. In the 14th Amendment, they became citizens, and the 15th Amendment allowed them the right to vote. And now, when we talk about voting, this is where it's needed. People like your,
20 seconds out.
People in your situation. And thank you, and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Alana McLaughlin, and she's giving us some information in reference to anti-Islamic sentiment in the United States of America. Now, Alana, you've covered quite a bit of information during the first and second segment. Let's give you the opportunity during the final segment to deal with some of the other aspects of this anti-Islamic sentiment.
All right, and so if you're just tuning in the second segment, I talked about one personal experience that I saw anti-Semitism. Sentiment, oh my God. Sentiment going on towards a man who was carrying a Quran. He had on a traditional dress from some country. I'm not quite sure because I haven't really taken any cultural classes. But he wasn't American. He was carrying a Quran, so I'm going to make an inference that the man was a Muslim. And so we were kind of okay, I was in Washington, D.C., so I was at John F. Kennedy Airport, and I was trying to go to Nashville. And so I was going through TSA, and he was behind me. And so I got all my stuff packed. I put it in the little cubbies. They put it through. I got my stuff back. It was over with. And I was waiting on the chaperones that I was with to accompany me onto the flight and all that. So I kind of sat down, and I was observing what else was going on at the airport. And I saw TSA kind of giving the man who was behind me a hard time. Like, for instance, what they would do, like, this is his Quran. They would open it and just, like, kind of manhandle it, trying to see if there was anything in there, and they were shaking it. Like, it was, and it didn't look in too great a condition, so it looked like it could have snapped like that. And it was just, they were doing so much extra, and that really just made my blood boil, because at that time there wasn't anything I can do, because I couldn't go up there, because once you go through TSA, I couldn't go straight, because as he was coming through it, I couldn't go through that line, and everything was too busy, so I couldn't really do anything about it except, you know, tell the chaperones I was with, and even they expressed their own disgust about it. And that just really made me think, wow, like, that's something that happens so often, but it's never reported on websites and etc. But let that have been any other race getting racially profiled, I promise you it would have been everywhere. If that was me and they were double checking my stuff and asking me stupid stuff like, do I live in Chicago, or do I have a father, and stupid stereotypical things like that, trust me, it would have been on News Channel 5 like that, or on Fox 17.
So you find that this is quite prevalent. It's quite prevalent in terms of the denial in a real sense of people's constitutional rights, the citizenship rights and whatnot. Is that what you're saying here?
It is, and that's why I feel like there are certain political candidates who do not encourage equality. I'm not going to go into name dropping or anything, but there are certain candidates that do not support equality, and I feel like, okay, right now, the two top candidates are Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and that's just, you just really can't fight that. And I feel like, since I'm not old enough to vote, I'm just watching this unfold, and I'm not making any certain choice because my opinion wouldn't really be taken for anything because I can't vote. But I'm watching this unfold, and I'm listening to both of their speeches and all the things that they promised to do with America. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, wow, one of these candidates really wants an America that's built around him and people who are like him, that 1%. And I don't feel like you could really be a president if you don't think about other people, because running a country, you have to put others before yourself. You have you have millions of people who are looking up to you, who are abiding by your rules, and if you exclude them from some of the things, A, that's not right, and B, that's dangerous.
Alana, in your category and your age group, I know you're not old enough to vote yet, but do you find that there's any kind of sentiment in reference to what is going on from a social level, from a religious level, among the people that you meet every day? I mean, is there any recognition?
I see so many sentiment, not even just Islamic. I see so much sentiment towards me going to school from my peers, because I was blessed with a brain and I've put my brain to use. So I'm in a lot of extracurricular activities that are academic based. So I've been called things like